Hey guys, welcome back to the Elite4 Podcast. Like always, I'm your host Migs, and with me today we have the Dill Pickle.
What's up, guys? Back again.
Hey Dill, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How about you?
I'm doing great. I'm glad you're with me. So today we have another special episode. I know a couple weeks ago we did E4 in the wild, and that was a little different. And today we are trying out something a little different too. We're all about doing new things here at E4. So today what we're going to do is I have some conspiracy theories
Oh, okay.
that I have been doing research on and kind of taking some light notes on. And I'm just going to kind of shoot them your way. And you're going to kind of tell me like what you think, if you think they're good or not. And I'll probably project some pictures here on the TV, which I forgot to turn on. So hold on, give me 1 second.
No, go ahead, man.
All right, Dylan. So I got the TV set up, and we're just gonna go ahead and jump into it. So I'm gonna stay very neutral about how I feel about these theories until we talk about it together, and then you can tell me how you feel, and I'll tell you how I feel. Because I don't want to be like swaying you or trying to push you in a certain direction. Like I want you to kind of just take these as is, right? Just the facts and off these notes that I've taken myself.
Straight up facts. All right. You're going to get a natural reaction from me, man, because I normally don't keep up with stuff like this, but this is going to be good. I'm interested. You got my full attention.
All right, Dylan. The first conspiracy theory we're going to talk about is going to be the Illuminati at the Denver airport.
Oh, okay.
Are you familiar with this at all?
Not necessarily, no. I remember the Illuminati. I remember a lot of that stuff, but not quite as much.
Yeah, so we'll go over it. So the Illuminati is like a group of the elitists, like the people that control the world.
Oh, like government and stuff.
They're like above the government, Dylan.
Oh, okay.
They're
like a secret society.
Like the presidents and the dictators are their puppets. They're their finger puppets.
Is that the one with the pyramid with the eye on it?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Okay.
So they have this symbol, the symbols of the all-seeing eye. They're very they say that the Freemasons have a lot to do with the Illuminati. They're the ones pulling the strings behind the curtains on how the world works, right?
Okay.
That's the theory of it, right? So at the Denver airport, Denver airport's one of the biggest airports in the United States. It's huge.
Yeah.
I've been there multiple times, and I've seen some stuff there, and there's some very questionable statues and artwork there. First one being the horse. The blue Mustang. So, Dylan, this picture on this TV display up here. So, this right here is a giant statue of a blue Mustang. And it's right in the front of the Denver airport. Now, everyone that goes into this airport and leaves this airport passes by this horse and sees it. It's not like in some obscure spot of the airport.
Yeah.
This thing is huge, and at night, its eyes glow red.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So, fun facts about this guy. This dude's pretty tall. I don't know exactly how tall
big,
it is.
Yeah, how big is that motherfucker?
It's pretty big. It's pretty big. It's so big, actually. Fun fact about it. So, people call this guy, what was it? They call it Blucifer because it's kind of like a demonic blue horse. A blue Mustang is what it is. And people kind of connect it with, like, the Four Horsemen, because they rode in on pale horses and stuff. One of them did, right? So this was the how do you say it when Jesus was born, like the Four Horsemen, like when they came from the Bible.
Oh, okay,
like the messengers of death and the apocalypse. Like the Four Horsemen are supposed to bring the apocalypse, right?
Oh shit!
And I don't know much about the Bible stuff and the Four Horsemen, but like one of them rode the pale horse, and a lot of people are saying that this is what it is. And people say the Illuminati are pretty Satanist too, right?
Isn't also like the Antichrist is like supposed to have like some kind of like shade of blue or something like that?
I don't know.
Under a blue turban or something like that.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
That's what I've heard. I've heard that saying before. Like the Antichrist comes into it like a blue turban or something like that. Well, it's some weird shit. I've heard stuff like that before.
I don't know about the Antichrist, but I mean,
I don't know about.
I mean, if there's anything that screams Antichrist and demonic shit, it's this fucking blue horse.
Yeah, look at the fucking eyes on it.
Yeah, and why is it glowing red? Why is it demonic?
That's like, you know how when people take a picture. Like, remember back in the 90s, they take a picture, like the little zip ones?
Oh, yeah, portable?
Disposable ones. Yeah. And sometimes your eyes will come out red.
Yeah, you get the red eye effect.
That's pretty bright red to me.
Yeah, that's a straight light. That's a red light in that, in that eye's horse.
Oh, that is?
Okay. That horse's eye. So, this horse has even killed before, actually. So,
no shit.
The sculpture actually got killed by this horse. Because as he was finishing sculpting it, the horse fell over on him and cut his artery in his leg. Wow. And the sculptor died. From that wound.
Wow.
But they went ahead and put it up anyways. I guess they loved it. You know, realistically, if it wasn't painted blue and had the weird veins like sticking out red like on his stomach and then have like the fucking red lights for eyes, it would just be a normal horse.
Normal statue of a horse.
No one would think anything, but it's just like the weird color palette of this thing.
What's going on? Is his tail black?
Yeah.
Like, what's going on? Okay.
So it has black hair, blue leather for skin.
Blue leather.
You can see some of its red veins like popping out.
Yeah, then you got a little bit of weather damage from under the belly.
Yeah,
I think that's weather damage.
Or that might be just the light shining off it.
Yeah, it could be.
So yeah, so according
that's creepy.
It's really creepy. So according to the airport, this horse or Mustang is supposed to symbolize that Denver is the gateway to the American West, meaning that whenever Americans went through to the West Coast, they all went through Denver. But I get what they're saying, like, yeah, but why symbolize that with this nightmarish steed?
Why blue at all? Like, why blue and a red eye?
Why demonic horse equals traveling to the American West?
Yeah, you could just paint a normal brown horse and give it.
Yeah, really weird. But you know what? That's not where the weirdness stops, Dylan. That's just outside the airport. We haven't even ventured inside the airport yet. So inside the airport, you'll see many different murals. This airport has a lot of artwork in it. And they support a lot of local art there.
Okay.
And here's one of the murals that you see on the wall. Now, this is a pretty big wall. As you can see, there's writing on the bottom left. That's the guardrails. I'll post all these pictures up on the screen so the audience can see what we're seeing. Now, Dylan, how would you describe this mural?
It's like war, kind of like how do you say property?
Propaganda?
No, like property or something like that.
Poverty.
Poverty. There you go. Yes,
like poor, like suppression.
Yeah, it's just war, chaos. You know, people are sleeping on the streets. It's just you got to. I mean, then of course you have the white dove. Is probably for Christian things. It's like like Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this is a very interesting picture. Yeah, because you can tell, with the sword and the gun, the dude kind of looks like a Nazi-looking dude, kind of, but...
Interesting you say that, Dylan. So, a lot of people get Nazi vibes from this mural.
Yeah.
I mean, look at him. He's wearing one of those Nazi hats with the eagle on it.
Yeah.
He has this sword coming out, right?
Yeah.
He's dressed, and he also has a gas mask on, too, which is fucking scary as fuck,
chemical warfare.
Chemical warfare.
Yeah.
The Germans are doing that shit with mustard gas and shit, like, so it's like, fuck. And then you see, like, the ruins next to him, right? The ruins are awfully. They look like World War II ruins
Yeah.
with the bombing and all the carpet bombing going on in the European theater.
Yeah.
So it looks very World War II-esque, and I guess that's what suits it. Yeah, it looks like you have some war refugees.
Yeah.
Sleeping on the rubble, like on bricks, like a little kid with a teddy bear.
Yeah.
And then you have. Now I don't know exactly what is that line of people.
I can't see the other. Okay, now I can see now. It looks like
it
looks like a child in her arms.
Yeah. So I don't know if they're dead.
It looks like because she looks like she has a hand like this.
Yeah, and the child is just like.
mourning the death of her child.
But they're all like just mourning, or I can't really tell like if they're dead or not. If those are like dead spirits. But what's particular is that this soldier's sword is actually piercing
the dove.
The dove.
Yeah.
Now the dove can be resembled as either peace.
Yeah.
Or as Jesus, right?
Yeah.
As Christianity.
Yeah.
Either one is not good, right? Like.
Yeah.
But imagine seeing this when you're fixing to board a plane.
It's like, what the fuck am I about to get into right now? I would be like, okay, this is a kind of a weird fucking airport, but
weird airport.
And I've never been to Denver. Never.
No?
Never.
Well, I don't know. That's where. So I want to say now this specific mural has been taken down, but yeah, it kind of just gives you a very like suppression. Like this, this is about suppression, and this kind of ties in with the Illuminati and the whole like New World Order. How their whole point is to suppress all of us, right? They're the ones that oversee us, that are like they'll rise above, kind of like the soldier here, just like destroying shit. Like, you know, look at us, like that's us on the left. Dylan. Yeah, that's us. We're not the soldier.
Then he got it.
We're fucked in this one.
Exactly.
We are fucked.
What's with the letter on the corner over there? It looks like it got some letter quarters on there.
Yeah, right.
I could say something.
Nah, it's too small to. But
it's too small to make out.
I'm sure it means
something in it
that we just don't know. But I mean, what's also weird is that like it looks like out of the fire rises up by his gun. It turns into a rainbow.
Yeah.
So there's a lot going on here.
There's a lot. Maybe that could also the rainbow could also mean peace also too.
Yeah. Like where's it going? Is the piece leaving us?
Yeah. It's
shooting off frame.
Exactly. Because it comes from that and it swoops into the other. It's like gray and then it becomes color.
Yeah.
And it has the color out there. Maybe it could be leaving.
Yeah, really weird, right? Really weird.
Yeah.
But wait, it doesn't stop there, Dylan. Check out this one. Maybe this is where the rainbow's going. So here, we have something else to look at. So here we have, I believe this one is children. It's called Children Dream of Peace. But it's still a little bit weird. It's still a little weird. You have a bunch of children surrounded by maybe the same sword that the soldier was holding in the last one, but it's bent. But all these kids are from all around the world of different cultures. And on one side you have, what is that, the British flag?
Yeah.
And I don't know what the flag that was. At the I don't know what flag.
You got the Irish flag, the British
flag, British
then you got
flag.
the India. India is the yellow, white, and green on the far side.
You have a lot of flags represented here.
Yeah. Then you got the Islam.
Specifically, we have some flags, and they have a bunch of swords wrapped up within the flags.
Yeah.
You see that? So it's like they're the ones taking away the weapons, I guess. And everyone else is just kind of happy that it happened.
And of course, you also have the two doves right there too.
So yeah, the doves are back, and then right below the doves, look who it is.
It's old boy.
It's old boy, but he's dead.
Yeah.
Dead. But you know, this one is a pretty brighter picture.
It is. It's more of like you conquered it.
Yeah.
Like, it's like you.
The people broke free on this one.
Yeah.
But it's still kind of weird. It's like a bunch of kids all surrounding a sword. It's just, I don't know. No. But it's still some weird art that you would see at an airport.
What I think they're trying to send like a message also. They think like, hey, look, this is what the world's coming to. You know, but also you know how like, what did they talk about? What was it? The Simpsons, you know how they always say they're time travels. They time
Oh,
travels,
yeah.
and he predicts all his shit is so fucking spot on.
Because he got so many things right already.
Yeah, and like just like when Donald Trump they had the one where Donald Trump took the escalator
Yeah,
ride.
escalator, yeah.
And
Yeah.
Sure enough, it was in one of those episodes.
How
and
did
it's
he-
like,
how-
how the fuck do you
How
know
do
that?
you write this back in the
Yeah.
90s and shit, and you get it right? It's fucking nuts.
That's also another thing too.
There's a couple other pieces of art. Let's see. Let's look at this one. So this one right here is more of a statue than a mural. This one it looks like some kind of demon or gargoyle, whatever you want to call it, but it's coming out of a suitcase.
He looks like he's doing the little fucking, you know how kids do the little, yeah.
He's doing something with his hands. He's covering his ears, sticking out
got
his
his
tongue.
tongue.
He's doing something.
That's kind of funny.
It is kind of funny, but I believe people like to reach out and say like this is symbolism of the devil
Yeah.
coming out of your luggage kind of thing,
Yeah.
right? Like that the devil is
You
with
could
us. Is he with us while we're traveling? I mean, is that what they're trying to tell us, or
It
I don't
could
know.
be the shit that you're carrying in there.
Yeah, or I don't know. It's definitely still a weird piece. Like, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I like this piece. I think it's pretty cool.
I think it is too.
I think having the whole devil in the suitcase is a cool little piece, but I think also the airport's probably a bad spot for it because that's the one thing everyone's carrying in the airport,
Yeah,
right?
because now you had everybody search through bombs, you know, hijacking planes. That could be another reason why he has that in there too.
Yeah,
Because
maybe
what
so.
you carry in that suitcase, you never know. That's why they go through customs.
Real
You have to go
interesting. This one is. All right, here's another one. This one's a little bit different. Oh, this one is.
I'm confused on this one.
This one has a lot going for it. So let's go ahead and zoom in.
Is that a cheetah?
So that is definitely a dead cheetah or dead jaguar.
Yeah.
Kind of chilling there, right? I just don't know why though. But
You got a
let me see
buffalo in the back.
Sorry
No,
about
you're
that. Let
good,
me put
you're
it back
good.
on screen. So like this one, you have this burning buildings or trees in the background. You have a city in fire in the background as well. If you look back there, like you know, and then you have these weird animals, like random animals. Like you got this tortoise
Yeah.
and a whale, and it looks like a penguin in a glass jar, and then a bird on over here. It's just, and then let's
you got a
see,
buffalo.
a buffalo head, and like you know, no one looks happy in this picture.
You got a bird in a glass jar too.
Yeah, it's a bunch of.
You got
it's like,
squirrel.
what's going on here? And then you know, on the bottom of the picture, you have someone that's dead,
And you got another
another
chick.
person dead.
Yeah.
So you have some graves. You have some graves going on. Everyone's mourning. It's just, it gives me very apocalypse like vibes.
Yeah. It
Right.
does. There's a lot. I'm still confused on it, but yeah, there's a lot going on. It does like it's kind of hard to explain on this one.
Yeah, for sure, right?
Maybe they might talk about, maybe some of it might be like, okay, everybody, you know how people go to the forest, some animals are extinct.
Yeah.
You know, that's probably represents like the dead cheetah or tortoise, you know, ocean, everybody throws your shit in the ocean. You know, you see these pictures of these turtles have like all this stuff on them. You know, then you have, of course, deceased bodies that are probably like dying. One's dying at a young age. The other one is old age. And then I can't really see the other one. But the rest of the stuff, I really don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it's a lot. So yeah, I see you're getting some like anti-pollution vibes.
Yeah, like pollution. Yeah.
Right on. I can kind of see a little bit with
And
all the animals.
and I think that's why they have like, if you look closely, they have a tree in there. And that's probably all the forest fires and stuff like that going on.
Yeah, there's
Could
forest
be.
fires. I don't know if that city back there is also on fire. It kind of looks like it is. I can't tell.
I can't tell
It's
either.
back there. I guess it's up to the side, but it's
Yeah.
pretty weird stuff. Besides these murals that I'm showing you, there's also at this airport a couple of podiums / memorials.
Well,
Also a time capsule, all of the Freemasons. Right, and one thing that's really weird, Dylan, is that on the Freemason time capsule, at the airport, it said it was put there by the New World Airport Commission. Now, I don't know if you ever heard of the New World Airport Commission. You probably haven't, because it turns out they don't exist.
Oh,
So-
that's weird.
So if you look them up, that's not an organization.
It doesn't. Yeah,
You know,
it doesn't.
but a lot of people will say, well, that's weird how they call themselves the New World. Like, like what's
New
going
World
on?
Order.
New World Order. Like, these
Yeah.
guys are supposed to be the guys in control of the airports. Maybe they didn't do it. Maybe too much light got shone upon them. They had to fucking be like, nope, you're not doing it.
Like, fuck off.
But what's also is really crazy is that time capsule was put there on March 19th, 1994. Right? And the Illuminati and Freemasons, or specifically the Freemasons, they always like to use numbers to send out secret messages.
Yeah.
And someone figured out that if you add all the numbers together in that date, it was the 19th of March, 1994. So if you get 1 plus 9 for the 19 and plus 1 plus 9 plus 9 plus 4, it equals 33. Now you're like, what does 33 mean?
Yeah.
Well, there's 33 levels to the Freemasonry. And the 33rd degree is where you become a master in the Freemasons.
No shit.
Yeah.
No shit.
Coincidence? I think not. Or it could be. I don't know. That is pretty weird.
What do you think?
Yeah, I always think the whole numbers game is pretty kind of fucking weird. But
Yeah.
I mean, are we reaching here? Maybe.
Could. Yeah, you could.
It could go either way. I don't know.
could.
It's a lot of weird stuff at an airport,
You know, the weird thing is, I think, I could be wrong, but I think my mom told me one day, I think my great grandfather was a Freemason. I think. I have to verify that again, because she told me that a long time ago. She has this. I think she pulled out like this fucking plaque or something like that.
Yeah.
And she said, yeah, your great grandfather, like I'm talking about like generation after generation, great grandfather, he used to be a Freemason.
Why aren't you a Freemason then?
I don't know.
Like,
I don't know, but I got to verify that first. I got to ask again. I think I think she said, I don't know, but I'll ask her tonight.
So that's some of the stuff that you can find at the airport, but also what's under the airport is kind of interesting as well, Dillon. Under, yeah. So underneath the airport, it is rumored, or it's a fact, that there are huge tunnels. It's
like a fucking bunker, dude.
Yeah, I don't know if this one is super accurate, but I think this one right here, they're trying to elaborate on some of the sizes.
Dude, that's a whole ass fucking city, kind of. You
so
got a train?
According to a ex-construction worker, there are at least 4 multi-story buildings underneath the airport and a shitload of tunnels that connect not only the airport together, but some of them leave the airport.
I think that's bullshit.
You think that's bullshit?
I think it is.
So most airports do have tunnels.
Yeah, but
because they get luggage route.
Yeah,
but why would they have it? And Dillon, this airport was over budget by millions of dollars.
Okay, maybe I might be wrong. I might be wrong.
And they took an extra long time building this airport, and people were suspecting they were building extra shit below the ground.
Well, I might be wrong. Then.
I mean, it could just be like, hey, labor was not as fast as we thought. I mean, people like to, estimate things. Go wrong.
I wonder if somehow or somewhere they probably have a hidden door. Probably they have a hidden door to get to that underground stuff.
It could be a lot of hidden things underneath there. So one thing people say down there is that there's supposed to be a doomsday bunker, potentially for the Illuminati or maybe even the federal government. Might have called for, like, hey, let's build a secret bunker underneath this airport because it's such a huge airport. I mean, it receives all kind of flights. and you could just go underground and fucking you'll be safe in case of a nuclear fallout.
And that's a that's a train.
Yeah, because they do
have
have trolleys and stuff under there too. Yeah,
and that one right in the middle, that one looks like it's like some huge ass tunnel.
Yeah,
like you could do
shitloads of tunnels, dude.
It looks like something you can find like at Area 51 or something.
Yeah. Well, funny enough, they say that one of these tunnels leads to Area 51. That's how employees will get to Area 51, because remember Area 51 is in the middle of a fucking desert.
By train.
So you go to the Denver airport,
yeah,
and you go down whatever hallway, and you go down a flight of stairs, and there's this fucking underground train that shoots you straight to Area 51. So no one sees you leaving or going to the area.
It's one of those bullet trains.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's what they say. That's how they say workers get to Area 51, or at least one of them. So
one of them do. Yeah.
So check this out.
Looks like how do you say it? Swastika.
Yeah. So what you're looking at is that black square in the middle is the actual airport.
Yeah.
And those red rectangles are the runways. That's the airport from a bird's eye view.
Yeah, that's...
Plus the murals that we just saw.
Yeah.
So
that's a swastika right there, dog.
So
that's totally Nazi.
They questioned why they built the airport like this, and they said...
What the fuck?
The engineer said that if we have the runways like this, that they would always be able to use every runway, either rain or shine, weather doesn't matter. But this is the only airport in the world with runways like this. And other airports in New York, in Atlanta, and fucking San Diego, all of them have different.
Houston.
Yeah, Houston. They all have different runways, and none of them have problems.
Not quite like that.
Yeah, they all have runways, but not in the swastika shape.
Yeah.
And they don't have any problems with their runways being open anytime, right? It was a weird excuse, like, well, you know. Really weird.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little fucked up swastika, because the other line is not connected to the other one, but it's damn near close.
Yeah. Well, I think
that is weird.
I think in between are like pathways where people get off and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is very fucking weird.
It was very weird. So that's gonna be like all my notes that I took it on the Denver airport. What do you think, Dillon? After everything you saw, do you think that it's just a bunch of weird art and some coincidences on stuff? Or do you think that maybe the Illuminati or the Freemasons did have something to do with the construction of this airport?
So what I think is, I think there's a coincidence for the art. You know, it tells a little story. It tells you, like we just talked about. Yeah, I mean this right here, that's a little too spot on. That's way too spot on. But I don't know. Some people draw connections with this and the murals and the blue horse. Yeah, the blue horse.
I don't even know what that's about. I have no explanation for the blue horse.
They said that Hitler did ride a horse on occasion sometimes.
Oh, he did.
So
yeah,
that fucking explains
maybe that's
blue
his horse
right
in the underworld, like fucking
underworld. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, Dillon. Oh shit! I didn't realize how far deep we're into this. So yeah, I've been there. I've seen some of this stuff. I haven't seen some of the murals. By the time I went there, they were already taken down. But I have seen something. The blue horse I've seen in person, and I'm like, holy shit, it's fucking real. And that thing is big. The thing is big, dude. But let's go ahead and take a break, and we'll come back and we'll do some small. I didn't mean to take so much time on that.
No, you're good.
But there was just so much shit.
It was interesting.
There was so much shit to go through. But yeah, let's go ahead and take a break, and we'll come back with a few more conspiracy theories for y'all. Hey there. I just want to take a second to thank you for watching the Elite4 Podcast. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe, because that really helps our channel grow. And if you're feeling extra generous, share us with a friend. Tell your mom about us. Tell anyone. We greatly appreciate you here at Elite4. Now back to the podcast. All right, and we are back. Me and Dillon are here talking about conspiracy theories. We went over the Denver airport, and now we're moving on to the next one. And the next one I have for you, Dillon, is called Paul is Dead. You might be wondering who Paul is. Paul is Paul McCartney of the Beatles.
Oh, okay. Kind of like Tupac and Biggie.
Yeah, they died, right? But those guys, when they died, they died.
Yeah, they died.
So here's a theory about Paul McCartney. So the theory is that back in November 9th, 1966, Paul McCartney died after his car drove off an icy road and crashed. He died. But at the Beatles and the music industry didn't want this to impact the Beatles and their success. So what they did was they found a lookalike to take his spot, and they hid the fact that Paul died from the public and kept it a secret. And this lookalike lived out the rest of Paul's life. He's still alive. This supposedly lookalike is still alive.
What the fuck?
So there's this one doesn't have that much evidence. Very, very little evidence. It's mainly all about kind of the same thing with Avril Lavigne. Had the same thing to where they said that Avril Lavigne died back in the day, and they got a different girl that looks just like her.
Kind of like cloning.
Kind of like cloning her. Yeah, like they found a girl that looks just like her, and they got her to sound like Avril Lavigne, and they just kept, the public's all like, who cares? Like, whatever. Like, they just keep seeing her. So
remember the rapper Gucci Man? Yeah. Remember when he got locked up? He was all like, he looked totally different. He looked totally, comes out totally looking different. And they were talking about, they had this, it was back in, I think 2015, I think. And they were talking about cloning. So I get what you're talking about.
Yeah. So this isn't cloning. This is them just looking for someone that looks just like him. So they found a guy, supposedly his name was Billy Shears. And Billy Shears just took up the mantle of Paul and continue on with the Beatles being the basis for them and also singing for them as well too, right? So here's a picture here of supposedly on the left-hand side you have an early picture of Paul, and then after the wreck, supposed wreck, and it's never proven that it was happened. Now that is supposedly Mr. Billy Shears on the right. Now a lot of people are saying that these are two different people, but as far as history is concerned, they're the same person. So I mean, it's a pretty they look alike. I mean, the thing about Paul is that like his eyes are a little uneven. Yeah. I mean, it's not, I'm not trying to poke fun at the guy. Yeah. But his lookalike, his eyes are also a little uneven, but not as drastically as the picture on the left. Now that could be due to a little bit of aging, to where maybe your face does that. But people were also saying that his facial structures are a little bit weird. His eyebrows are a little bit different.
Yeah, I could tell.
But with these rock stars, like how often do you see them actually in person? Like they're always heavily dressed up. They have makeup
or they're
on,
like a distance from the stage,
distance away. Like they Hollywood applies their filters to it and stuff. Like like if you there's some really good lookalikes out there, right? Yeah. And people actually make a career out of being lookalikes, kind of like the whole like Elvis thing too, right? Like,
that too.
A lot of people impersonate Elvis. Still to this day, even though we all know Elvis is dead. Yes. Still, like you could probably find a performer out there that looks just like Elvis and sounds just like him. I mean, the possibilities are there, and this is also coupled with the theory that there's a lot of subliminal messages in the Beatles songs. There's a few of them, a couple of them actually, that really stand out that people will talk about. Now, the Beatles never confirmed this, as even their record label never confirmed that there was actually messages in there, but any hardcore Beatles fan will tell you they're there. Something is up here. Something is a little fishy, because in the song Strawberry fields forever, supposedly John Lennon says, and I quote, "I buried Paul." Now, it's a very short bit, and it's kind of like, you can't understand it, but it can kind of be perceived that that's what he said. And supposedly, at the very end of the song, he murmurs, "Paul is dead."
Yeah.
But I mean, it's very low key, and you really got to be listening to hear it. But it's at a level to where you don't know for sure what exactly is being said. It might be said something else according to whatever lyrics would be there.
Yeah.
But it's that's what it is. Let's go ahead and look at a different picture. So here's another one. This one right here, this is younger and older. On the left, you have Paul. On the right, you have your Billy Shears impersonator.
Holy shit.
Who knows, man? Who knows? This one here, you can kind of see that the nose structure is a little bit different.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're just a fan and you go meet him and you're like, "Oh, this is Paul McCartney," I mean,
they're not gonna tell the difference.
You can't know that. How do I actually know that's Paul? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
that is fucking weird, man. I mean, if you compare him to, but his head, like the false one on this side, he's got a different angle at his head. But if you try to compare it, if you try to move it at that same angle that he has, it's damn near, because his eyebrows are actually thinner on this one. But you can't say from age, or just from
makeup, right? Like
makeup,
maybe he got his eyebrows done that day.
Yeah,
who knows?
He could have.
Who knows, right?
Yeah.
I can't say. There's also another song called Revolution 9. Now, this one was a pretty cult example. So, this one it came from back whenever they were saying if you played certain records in reverse,
backwards,
you would hear secret messages.
Yeah.
Well, this is
like
another
Chicago.
Case. Yeah, this is another case of that. So, supposedly, if you play the record Revolution 9 backwards, it says, "Turn me on, dead man." Which is kind of weird, kind of out there.
That is weird.
I heard
weird.
the audio bit that they claim to have it on, and it definitely sounds like some reverse language, but I can kind of hear what they're saying. I think it's a little bit of a reach, but it's not as clear. I don't have that sound bit for you, but that's just a little tidbit.
I'll look it up.
Little tidbit for you. So here's another picture that the conspiracy theorists really like to point out. So this is the Abbey Road photo. It's a very famous photo for the Beatles. Like, it was on their album and stuff. And here you have all four members of the Beatles, right?
Yeah.
So you have John Lennon dressed in all white right there.
Yeah.
Then you have, is it Ringo? Yeah, Ringo dressed right there in black. Then you have, supposedly, Paul dressed in the grayish form. And then you have in denim, you have Ringo at the end. No, that's not Ringo. I'm sorry, that's George. George in the denim. Now, they say that what they're wearing is symbolic of their role that they're trying to communicate with you. Now, if you look at John's dressed in all white, from his shoes, his pants, his jacket, everything. And that is a common way of how we dress God. Right?
Yeah.
If you ever see a godly figure,
he's all in white.
He's all in white.
He's got the beard, the long hair,
all white. So so he's supposed to be representing God.
Yeah.
Right? Behind him, you have Ringo dressed as all black, really formal, white collar, black shoes. He is supposed to supposedly represent a preacher, a father figure, that you would see at a funeral,
a priest,
and then you have behind him our culprits, our imposter, supposedly, Paul. Paul is dressed in normal professional attire, gray, normal suit, but one thing that people fail to realize about him is that he's not wearing any shoes. he is barefoot.
That is true. Now that I just looked at that, yeah. And also, he's got his finger out.
So his finger, he's actually. So I'm glad you pointed that out, Dylan.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you know this about Paul, but he is left-handed. What he's holding in his hand is a cigarette.
Oh, okay.
Right, but why is he holding his cigarette in his right hand
if he's left-handed?
If he's left-handed, right?
Yeah. So yeah, now
maybe he wanted us to be showing that he was holding a cigarette for the photo, maybe.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was a oopsie. I don't know. But also the fact that he's barefoot. Some cultures believe in the world that you bury your dead with no shoes.
Oh, okay.
So that's a thing in the world.
That could be a sign right there.
That could be a sign that he's the corpse, and that's what he's trying to.
Yeah, he's trying to get that message out.
That Paul is the corpse.
What the fuck, dude? I never even knew about this shit.
Yeah, dude.
This is fucking crazy. This is mind blowing.
We're going down rabbit holes, Dylan.
Dude,
we're going down the holes.
What
we're going
the fuck?
real deep.
I need another beer for this.
So, speaking of holes, Dylan, look at the last man. Look at Mr. fucking George himself. Now, Mr. George himself, he's wearing denim, right? And denim is normally an attire that workers wear.
Yeah.
Right? Like a gravedigger, someone that gets dirty.
Yeah.
So that's who he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be the gravedigger. He dug the grave for Paul.
So, okay, I get what you're saying. Jesus, you had the priest, corpse, gravedigger.
Yeah.
So he barrier, corpse, priest saying his eulogy. Then he meets Jesus.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Something like that. There's a message there, right?
Yeah.
And you know what? Like, just looking at this photo, I mean, you could just take it as face value. Oh, it's like, these four handsome chads just fucking crossing the street. Or is there a deeper meaning? Now, there's also a theory that supposedly this little Volkswagen Beetle, the license plate number is supposed to say something. Yeah. But I really couldn't dig into it too much. But supposedly there is a message within that license plate about something about his death as well. I think it's supposed to be like something about Paul's age 29 to be or something like that. Like how he was supposed to be at this age, but he's not because he passed away. So that's another thing that is on this photo. But I mean, unfortunately, that's all I got on this one, Dylan.
I see what you're talking about. I mean, old boy, all dressed in white looks like motherfucker from Bee Gees, from the Bee Gees.
Yeah, definitely. That's John Lennon right there.
Yeah, he got the full on beard, the long,
So kind of crazy. I think this one we just gotta say it's kind of just inconclusive, right? We don't know. It's very interesting to me that if that happened, I could see Hollywood doing something like that, right? Being just about the money. Like, no, guys, we can't let the Beatles be struck this blow. Yeah. We got to just continue on, shitting out some fucking good music because this was at the height of their fucking shit.
Yeah, because this was what, back in the 60s?
Yeah, late
70s?
60s. This is
late 60s?
Supposedly, he died in 66.
66? Okay, so this is like hippie era.
Yeah.
This is way, like fucking shrooms.
The Beatles
weed.
were on top of the charts, my guy.
Yeah. Plus, they also they doled in so many psychedelic drugs. So, because what was it? They called it the third eye. Joe Rogan does this stuff. He's like big in that DMT. You get the third eye, and that's probably what too.
Yeah. So we'll move on to our next one. I don't have any pictures for our next one. So our next one, we're going back to more of a serious kind of set tone on this one. Okay. The Paul is Dead one was kind of fun to look into.
That was very interesting.
So this one here is a conspiracy theory that people do believe in, and it's that the Americans had an advance warning of Pearl Harbor. So,
that I do not know.
So supposedly, as the conspiracy goes, President FDR had full knowledge that we were fixing to get our asses handed to us at Pearl Harbor, but he let it happen anyways. At the time period, Dylan, we'll paint a nice picture here, all right?
Okay.
So you have the European theater going on. The war is going on over there. Adolf Hitler is kicking butt over there.
Yeah.
Winston Churchill is fucking reeling back. Nazis are doing their blitzkrieg shit, taking over the Europeans. They're just going into town. You know, the UK and everything. They're just getting their asses handed to us, right? Winston Churchill desperately wants the Americans to get involved.
Yeah.
Right? But after World War I, the American people did not want to get into another world war.
Yeah.
They didn't think that it was any of our business what goes on over the Atlantic Ocean over there. They said that the Nazis were the Europeans' problems and they need to figure it out themselves. We don't want to get into another war, right? No country wants to go to war, especially after World War I. That was a pretty nasty war. So here are the Japanese coming to bomb us, right? Supposedly, the Americans intercepted the message, cracked their codes way before it was announced that we cracked their codes, that they were going to bomb us.
Yeah.
Supposedly, according to a certain radio station, intercepted some messages and got them deciphered, and they were literally Pearl Harbor mapped out and with the grid lines and everything, and they already had targets mapped out from the Japanese. Now these what they call these bomb grids. They didn't really mention that they were going to be stricken by air.
Yeah.
They just knew that there were targets, right?
Yeah.
So we don't know if FDR or if these messages even were received. We don't know if they were received and got sent to the presidential level. They might have got, the next commanding officer might have looked at them, called them bullshit, threw them out. We don't know. There's no hard proof. But that's not to say that the American government, as well as FDR, didn't have any intent or motives to keep that a secret. They certainly did, because FDR wanted to help out Winston Churchill. He wanted the Americans to stand up against the Nazi Party and help out our allies across the Atlantic Ocean. But I mean, Congress and the American people didn't want that. So we were at a bitter standstill. We didn't agree, right?
Yeah.
But FDR thought, hey, if the Japanese come over here and bomb us, then the American people are going to rally up and they're going to want to strike back at the Japanese, who are what? Allied with the Nazis. That's going to be our door into the war, and these Americans are going to be about it. Because us as Americans, we don't take kindly to people coming over here and fucking bombing us.
Fucking us up,
Yeah, we're like, oh, hell no. Like, we get real quick, right? So that's what people were saying happened, or suspected that happened. And there's a couple of things that kind of, lead up to that, or kind of like go along with that, right? Like, just so happens, so Pearl Harbor happened on December 7th, 1941, right? And the Japanese have been spying on Pearl Harbor for a while because they're trying to get our targets down. They're trying to get like where our fuel is at. They're trying to get our runways. They're trying to get our battleships or aircraft carriers. Now, back in World War II, Dillon, the aircraft carrier was the pinnacle of naval combat, right? Yeah. It wasn't about your battleships or your submarines. It was about how many aircraft carriers you could do, because those aircrafts would demolish anything, right? You're talking about those dive bombers. I'm sure you've seen the movies. I was like, these ships like just blasting fucking shells up in the sky and shit, and then everybody's like, dive bombers, like, whatever, torpedoes going off and shit. Like, it was about the aircraft carriers, because it extended your reach as far as combat goes, right? You could be sailing out to sea, and then you launch all your planes, and they go another 600 miles out, bomb something, come back in, and none of your ships were in any danger because the airplanes took care of all that shit for you. So right before December 7th, actually, let's see, I have the dates here for you. So the Enterprise, the famous Enterprise aircraft carrier, just so happened to leave the harbor November 28th. Now we're talking like a week and a half before. So the Japanese at this point ready to pull the trigger. They're launching their shit out of Japan.
They said
Enterprise is all like, hey, we're gonna leave the harbor. We're gonna go do something real quick. We have a little thing we're gonna go do. It sells off. A few days later, on December 5th, just 2 days before the bombing, the Lexington leaves the harbor. So those are our only 2 aircraft carriers.
And Lexington is the one in Corpus, right?
Right there in Corpus.
Yeah.
It's still afloat. It's still afloat. Yeah. So
the
Lexington leaves, right? Our 2 prize aircraft carriers just so it happens to leave the harbor, and then in comes the fucking devastation and tragedy that's fucking Pearl Harbor. Bombs a lot of our destroyers and our little escort ships.
Yep.
But they didn't hit no aircraft carriers because they were just so happened to be gone.
Yeah.
Right? So the Japanese, they struck a major blow to our naval fleet, but they didn't get what they wanted.
Yeah.
Because if we have our aircraft carriers, well, that means we're just going to turn it right around because that's the fucking real guts and muscle of our fucking naval power. And we turned it around and we fucking just destroyed them, right?
Yeah.
We were like, all right. And then as pretty soon we hit Midway, we hit all the fucking islands.
Oh, yeah.
And then we fucking pretty much did what the Pacific Theater was. We went all the way over there.
Ended up bombing them.
Yeah, and ended up bombing them. And it was... what the Japanese thought was if they could knock out our 2 aircraft carriers, we would be out of the war. Yeah, there would be no way that the Americans could come back and have a naval presence because the Japanese had aircraft carriers, right? So we would be done for, but that wasn't the case. They only got some battleships.
Yeah.
Which, of course, our fucking docks turned out more battleships, made some more, and we just went to fucking town because all the Americans got pissed off. They're like, fuck the Japanese.
Like, fuck you,
we're going over there. Like, yeehaw, motherfucker, let's go.
Let's go fuck your shit up.
And that's history now, right?
Yeah.
So people were saying that, like, from FDR's point of view, I mean, he probably used Pearl Harbor as a way of getting over there. He could have. It's not. I mean, it could be understandable.
It could have. Yeah, he could
have happened, right? The government's done worse.
Wow.
Government's done worse.
Where was Pearl Harbor? In Hawaii, right?
Yeah, Hawaii.
In Hawaii, and Japanese, and they flew.
Yeah. So they
That's a lot of fucking. That's a lot of.
It's a long way. It's a long way.
How the fuck did those planes not run out of fucking fuel?
They had aircraft carriers.
Oh,
that's the power of aircraft carriers.
Okay. So Japanese, they had it.
They had aircraft. So without their aircraft carriers, they wouldn't be able to do something like that. So
Sorry,
they wanted.
Miss Sanders, my bad.
No, you're good. You're good.
That was my history teacher.
So that's why they wanted to kill our aircraft carrier, so we couldn't do that back to them. We would be out of the fight. But since they didn't, they're like, oh, shit. And then that's what that quote comes like, oh, afraid we awoken the sleeping giant.
Yeah.
Because they did. They're like, oh, shit. They have aircraft carriers. And then we went over there and just uppercut the fuck out of them. Like, right, you get
fatality.
Yeah, for real.
Fatality.
So that
one's actually pretty interesting. I like that one.
Was really, I could see it being true. Like, right, I could see it.
I could see it too. The way
I would hate for it to be true, right? I wouldn't want it to be true because a lot of people died. God, that was such a traumatic thing. Could you just imagine, like one morning you're on fucking Pearl Harbor just doing your shit, and all of a sudden it's like
on the mess deck.
You look up and there's fucking airplanes everywhere bombing you. You're like, oh shit, like fucking. You're
fucking getting your food and shit, and all of a sudden, boom, boom, boom. Like
oh god damn, kind of bad, but I could see it doing it. I could see FDR thinking it's a means to an end, right?
Yeah.
Because of Pearl Harbor, we got into the fight. We joined World War II, and we kicked some ass.
Fucking demolishing them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we did. Let's see. Do we have time? We have a time for a quick one, real quick. So the next one is one I'm sure you're familiar with, sure you heard before.
Oh God!
And that is the Earth is flat.
Bro, I was actually, man, I'm not even gonna lie, dude. I woke up this morning and I was going through Facebook and there was a couple of videos of this segment. I swear to God, of this segment on there. There was a guy explaining on how the center of gravity, if the Earth was flat, the center of gravity of it will pull more towards the middle than anything else. So, like, if you fall off the edge, you're pretty much fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I never really, because I was half dead asleep when I just woke up. I was looking at my phone. It's my daily routine. But it's just like, it's fucking ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous.
I mean, but yet there's so many people that believe
yes,
the Earth is still
and
flat.
I know, and he works with us. I'm not going to mention any names. And he works with us, and he swears up and down. And yeah.
So let's just go through it. Let me see how much time I have. So we have like 5 minutes. We can do. All right. So
Okay.
So according to this diagram, Dillon, the Arctic Circle, the Arctic Circle is in the center of this, what you call a circle that is the Earth, right? They say that Earth is this disc.
Yeah.
Right? And in the center is the Arctic Circle, Alaska, and all that up there. The North Pole is up there. And then there is no South Pole, right?
No.
So they say that Antarctica is the rim of the world. So if you look on the map, you will see that the rim is all in ice, which is Antarctica, because I mean, the way they say it is no matter where you're at on the globe, if you go south, you're hitting Antarctica.
Yeah.
Antarctica is the barrier that keeps us on this disc, right?
Yeah.
And the funny thing about Antarctica is no one's really allowed to go there. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
So you can't just book a trip to Antarctica. And if you do, you're only allowed to go to certain spots.
What the fuck?
So Antarctica is like no man's land. Like I forgot what treaty it is, but everyone signed this little agreement that no country is allowed to colonize Antarctica. Because you realize no one owns it. No, it's just land. Just no one wants to claim it. Because if you think about it, like think about the military advantage that you would have if you own Antarctica. Like you just can come up from anywhere on the Earth. True, right? True. Yeah. So they said, hey guys, hands off Antarctica. We'll just leave it as is. It's cold as fuck down there anyways.
Yeah.
And that's what they said, right? But the flat earthers say, oh, they don't want you going there because they don't want you to reach the edge. So that's why only scientists, or think about explorers. People who explore the Amazon, they explore the Himalayas, they explore anything, right? But you don't see people exploring Antarctica.
No.
Because they're not allowed to. They can only go down there and research some things like global warming. Scientists go down there, they look at the ice, they do some nature stuff down there with some of the penguins and stuff, you know? But besides that, no. Like, as far as the maps go, it's only by satellite and by old time explorers that just kind of sell the toast down there.
Well, like I do have to say this. They did have like NASA people go out there and they proved that it is round. Yeah. Like they showed a video of the Earth and it's round.
So according to the flat earthers, we never been to space.
Yeah, they said
that all that is fake. All that is fake.
On a soundstage, kind of just like the Neil Armstrong.
All these photos of the Earth being a globe is fake, just to make you think that the Earth is sphere. Yeah. Now, I don't know why. I think the Earth being flat is even crazier than it being a sphere, being
trees would be this way instead of up. If the Earth was literally flat, the trees would be this way.
I don't know, man. It'd be weird. It'd be weird.
Yeah, it'd be very weird. Yes.
Weird as hell. I mean, the thing is that like there's just so much evidence that the globe is a sphere.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you believe in something, you believe something. I get it. I feel like people should be free to believe in what they want to believe in.
To believe in what they want.
That's totally cool. When the evidence is so substantial, I mean, you're just all like, yo, it doesn't mean nothing to me. Like, yo, all right, or whatever. You're beyond, I feel like, reach. But whoever's our coworker, I think we just need to launch him in space and let him fucking.
Yeah, because you're only gonna find out unless you see it yourself. Become a NASA.
Well, let's go ahead and let's. I think we both agree this one's pretty crazy.
Yes.
Flat earthers. But let's take one more quick break and we'll come back for one more conspiracy theory.
Got it.
All right, and we are back. We have one more conspiracy theory for you, Dillon.
Okay.
So let me take you back to World War II one last time.
Okay.
Right? So this is another theory from there. I'm kind of a World War II little like history buff. I love reading and watching documentaries about World War II.
Wow.
Now, whenever I was doing a little deep dive on this one kind of struck home for me because I always thought this one was a little weird, right? Like, you know, how it went down in history. And I definitely, I'll say beforehand, I can see some truth in this one. I can see how it could be possible. So this one is that Adolf Hitler escaped to Argentina at the end of World War II. Now, as history has it, Adolf Hitler and his wife, Eva Braun, both committed suicide in his underground bunker as the Soviet soldiers were storming Berlin and everything. And instead of being captured, they decided, we'll commit suicide. His body was kind of like supposedly like, you know, torn to pieces, burnt, whatever. But that's as far as history has it written, he committed suicide. Yeah. That always struck it weird as me, right? Like, you know, like I know he was in a weird mental state. Like he thought he was winning the war for the longest time, and he thought that his army, his Nazi party was going to eventually defeat the Allies. And he was very, very misguided by his generals. But someone like Adolf Hitler, I didn't think would commit suicide. Yeah, with all of it, right? Out of all people, right? Like this dude's over here challenging the world. Like this dude's on a quest for world domination, and to think that he would just end it all because, you know, like the Soviets are around him, like, and not be smart enough to escape the situation and maybe try again later, or have the, you know, the Third Reich kind of like maybe reform later on in the future. Yeah. Instead, he decided to end it all there. Which, I mean, whatever. Good for us that he did that, right? Because that kind of marked the end of the European theater as far as World War II is concerned of. But there's not any hard proof. I mean, there's some little tidbits here and there where this could be true. So supposedly, like I said, on April 30th, 1945, Adolf Hitler and his wife committed suicide. But there's a theory out there that him and a lot of his high-ranking officers all were able to escape Germany and make their way to South America. Yeah. Where most of them lived out their lives. Oh, some of them actually were spotted there. For instance, Adolf, I believe his name is, forgive me if I butcher their names, Adolf Eichmann. Now, Adolf Eichmann was captured in South America, in Argentina, by Israeli agents that were hunting down Nazi party members, right? Okay. And they arrested him on war crimes, and they eventually took him to Israel, and they did the whole thing there, right? Yeah. Like, you know. But this guy was the mastermind, if you want to call him that, about the network of Nazi concentration camps. He was the one that was in charge of killing off all the Jews. Ooh. So the whole genocide of the Jewish race, like all that was his work. He was in charge of that. Yeah. Right? So he actually escaped Germany, made it there, and was eventually hunted down. Right? So he's there, right? Another high-ranking Nazi officer was also found in South America, particularly in Brazil, where his name, Joseph Mengele, I think it's his name. Forgive me if I'm pronouncing that wrong. But this is the guy that was known as the Angel of Death. Now, this one is also very well hated by the world. Okay. Right? That he, like Eichmann did the Holocaust. Yeah. This guy was the doctor that was doing all the fucked up experiments on twins, on pregnant women. He was doing he was looking for, I guess, the Puritan race stuff or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Trying to figure out what the whole twins and the slight connection between the twins are and stuff. He was doing a lot of human experimentations on these people, right?
Yeah.
So eventually he was hunted down by some anti-Nazi people, and eventually he met his end off the coast of Brazil by drowning, as he suffered a stroke and ended up drowning in the water.
Damn.
So he was never captured and whatever, but his remains were brought in, and this guy was there in South America. Now there was a couple other guys as well, other high-ranking colonels and lieutenant colonels that were cited in Argentina. And the thing is that, well, if these guys are there, wouldn't Adolf Hitler be there?
Yes.
Right? And a lot of the locals. I think I have some pictures. I'm sorry, man.
No, you can.
Let's throw up some pictures.
Go
Let's
see what we got here.
Let's see what we got. So here we go. Here is the Joseph Mengele guy. Now, this is the one that suffered a stroke and passed away on the drowned on off the coast of Brazil.
That's him.
Yeah, that's him right there. Real evil motherfucker. Look at him.
Yeah,
man.
he does look evil.
Real evil
What's
guy.
With the mustache? All these guys with mustaches like that
Yeah.
are real fucking evil.
I guess.
Back then.
Yeah, I guess he wanted to. I guess that was a. Well, I think. Yeah, dude. Yikes. I don't know, but that's horrible looking. And then here's the Adolf Eichmann. Now this dude right here is, I'm sure.
Oh yeah,
the guy. He is responsible for the Holocaust. This dude right here.
Yeah, he's full fucking Nazi right there, dude.
Full fucking Nazi, dude. They found him.
German emperor.
Yeah. Yeah, this dude was top ranking guy, dude. Top ranking guy.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it says here this guy was hanged in Jerusalem in 1962.
Good.
So good. He deserved it. He needed
it. Yeah, he did.
Maybe he got off too easy. But that picture there is him in 1942. That's him during the war. And then here's a picture of some artifacts found in Argentina. So these are different things, different busts that were made. Yeah. Now it's reported that most of these artifacts were faked, but not all of them.
No.
Not all of them were faked. So we have people, high-ranking officers in South America, and we have some artifacts there as well as some people going in and talking to locals, and the locals admitting that, like, yes, my great-grandfather was a white German dude.
Yeah.
And he had like, the pistols and the hats and the little iron crosses, the little medallions. Like they all had that in their houses. Like, obviously
the
Germans,
swastika red band.
Yeah, they had
band.
Nazi artifacts there in their little villages and stuff. Now, as far as Adolf Hitler goes, no one really saw him there. There was always just stories and reports of this man being there. It's reported that he lived out his life in Argentina, eventually had 2 daughters.
Oh, shit.
And eventually he died of natural causes. And let's see. Hold on, I wrote it here somewhere. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. Hold on. I wrote this one down. Maybe I didn't.
No, you good.
But I believe it was in the 1960s.
Normally that's a going.
Yeah, I never.
That's a repeating process right there. They all died in the 60s.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was 20 years after the war, right?
Yeah, 20. Yeah.
Yeah, because if you think if they
they
escaped in 45 and they're in their late 30s and stuff, then they're pushing 60s and stuff, living in South America. I don't know what the life expectancy rate of things down there, but I would assume the medicines and stuff down there isn't as great as
not as great as it is nowadays.
Nowadays,
so not modern medication. Nowadays.
Yeah, so who knows? I mean, he could have been there. I mean, like He could have done it.
He could have.
I feel like it would match what kind of person he is, like, right? Like, instead of like you know, I feel like Adolf Hitler wasn't a guy that would just commit suicide.
Yeah, no.
Go down
No,
with the
hell
ship.
no.
He'd be like, nah, fuck that. Let's bail ship and go.
Yeah.
And I mean, if his officers did it, no,
Then he had to go. He
yeah.
had to go.
Yeah, he had to go.
That could have been a decoy. In that, like I said,
Yeah.
you said it was burnt up and torn to pieces. I mean,
Yeah.
that could have been a decoy.
So that's the whole theory was that like that all they did was they just got a lookalike,
Yeah.
kind of like the whole Paul McCartney thing.
Yeah.
Got a lookalike, shot that dude.
It fucking
And-
burnt the torch the place.
Yeah,
It torched it. Yeah.
torched it. Like, you know, we're out of here. Like, you know. And then
That's
by the time the
crazy.
Soviet soldiers come in, it's like, this is what we got. I think this is
Yeah.
him. Kind of looks like him. Like, you know, like
Fuck it, we're gonna take it. It's him.
found a guy that looked like Adolf Hitler dead in Adolf Hitler's secret bunker.
Yeah.
It's probably him.
It's probably him.
And, you know, I'm pretty sure at that point, I mean, would you really want to question it? Like, I'm pretty sure the generals are like, yeah, cool. The war is over. We got him.
Yeah.
He's dead. And then that was the end of the war, and I'm sure that's what Adolf Hitler would have wanted, right? Like
He
'cause
lost. He
He lost, and he got out of there. You
He
know,
was like,
like
"Fuck this shit,
people
I'm
think
gone."
he's dead, and that's what he wants.
No.
Yeah. So that one I see could be true.
I could see that being true too. I could see that being true. I mean, look at all the fucking artifacts that they found right there, dude. That's
Yeah.
I mean, look at the statues. I mean, one of them looks like Adolf Hitler already.
Yeah. So who knows, man? Who knows? Like I said, like some of those could be faked.
Yeah, some of them
why?
could be, but
why would they fake these artifacts? There, I don't know if they've heard this theory and they were trying to just capitalize on it.
Yeah.
Or like they say, like all rumors have a sliver of truth,
exactly.
and maybe this
Exactly.
is tugging at that sliver. Oh yeah, the Nazi regime, they were here.
Yeah.
They escaped here and they all lived their lives out here, except for the ones that got caught.
Yeah. They all
Yeah.
got executed.
Yeah. So that's all I have for you today, Dylan.
Well, shit, it's been interesting, brother. Like, this is opened a whole new mindset for me, man.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, normally I never really pay attention to much of this stuff. But, dude, this is pretty fucking cool. This is
Hell
pretty
yeah,
fucking
dude.
cool, man.
Makes you think maybe
Dude,
the
it
world
does.
isn't the way we think it is, you know?
Exactly. Because, the way it explains, it's like, dude, it's so goddamn true. Like, fuck, dude, what if it could have been? And that's
Coulda
the
been.
crazy part. It takes your mind to a whole nother place.
Yeah. But I think we both agree that the world isn't flat, though.
Yeah, no,
No.
it's round. It's round.
You know what, guys? If y'all think the world is flat, let me know. Comment down below why. And you know, maybe if this is of the fans like this kind of stuff, we'll do it more often. We'll do it again.
We'll have maybe we'll have somebody else come in and have a special guest and see what his opinions are, and we'll go from there, dude.
Yeah,
it'll be a
I'm all
great
for
show.
it. All right, guys. Well, let's go ahead and wrap things up. Thank y'all for watching the Elite4 Podcast once again.
Thank you.
And we'll see y'all next time.
Later.
Thanks.
I never had a father.